Hello, you all. I'm back with another video. I'm being called to do another general message for the collective. Okay. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Nino. So, let's go ahead and get started. Please give me information for the collective. Please and thank you. Oh, that's way too many. All right, we have Creature of Fire. This is all about choosing freedom. Ooh. You could be highly sensitive at this time. Okay. Choosing your freedom could be like emotional for you. And that could be why you're highly sensitive right now. Because when you've been, stuck in a particular cycle for a long time, when it comes to freedom, it's kind of scary almost, right? Because you don't know what's to come from choosing freedom. You know what I mean? But that cycle is about to end with this root of water because we have 28, which breaks down to a 10. Okay. So you're all about choosing freedom, baby. I like that. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I'm proud of you all who wants to choose freedom. Even though choosing freedom can be scary, like I said, I'm proud of y'all because it's not easy to choose freedom when all you know is what you know, right? Because what you know in the situation you in, you might feel like that was freedom or you were made to think that that was freedom. But when you really have your true individual freedom, that's freedom. Let's get more information. All right, we have the King of Roses and the Queen of Forces. Queen of Forces was in reverse. Okay, so the King of Roses is like the King of Cups to me. And then the Queen of Forces is like the Queen of Earth. So you could be deciding to follow your heart and finally turning your back on opposing forces. You see? You see the King of Swords, how his back is turned towards the Queen of Wands? I mean, the Queen of Forces. And the Queen of Forces is upside down? Yeah. Yeah, you're finally turning back on those, on, yeah. You could have someone upset that you choosing your freedom and not choosing them. Because in choosing them, you have to choose both sides of them. That's another thing, whoever this is or whatever this is. You will have to choose both sides to them. You may only like one side of them or that place. But in order for you to deal with them, whether it's person, place, or thing, you have to deal with both sides. And because you're turning your back on this opposing force or forces, okay, you like, nah. So yeah, good for you. Good for you. You're not allowing any force. You're not allowing anyone to force you to deal with whatever this is. Especially if you don't have to. Okay? That's important. Especially if you don't have to. Okay? Cuz right now we have the ascent. You have the keys now to ascent towards paths that are unknown to you. Whatever these paths are, they're going to be diverse. And whatever path you decide to choose, it's okay. You know, away from these opposing forces. All right, let's get more information. Let's see. Please give me more information. We have perspective, gifts, and authority. Yeah. Ooh. I have to show you the cards. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that beautiful black swan. Oh my gosh. So you may be the black sheep when it comes to everybody. That's friends, family, jobs. Right? But when it comes to this perspective, it's like if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Right? Because you see how you're looking at what I think roses is in his hands. You see how you're looking at those roses? You're looking at these roses differently now. And that could be because whatever was opposing you from seeing these roses the way you should see the roses, whatever these opposing forces are, you're now looking at these opposing forces differently. And they don't like that. That's why the Queen of Forces is in reverse. Yeah, this new change in perspective of these opposing forces is what's going to get you to where you want to be. And then we have gifts. Yeah, you're uncovering gifts because of your change in perspective. Okay? You're uncovering new talents. You will probably land new work. Okay? You can either get a better position or more money. And then we have authority. Yeah. See, this is the Queen of Forces right here. This was the opposing force. Whoever this Queen of Forces was in your life, person, place, or thing, they had authority over you. Y'all always clashed. Okay? They always challenged you. They always compelled you to respond. But they would never do these things for you. Whoever or whatever this is. And then look, at the bottom of the deck, we have on the table. Yeah. You finally put your demands, you probably put your foot down when it comes to these opposing forces. Okay, you're getting serious about what it is you want. Because you're looking for, some sort of step up. And then look, you have the connections in the reverse. So this could have to do with people. And look, you got freedom in reverse too. Yeah, when you had connections with these opposing forces, your freedom was not so free. But see, now you're getting the signs and synchronicities to put your foot down. And by doing that, the universal forces, are making it work so that you can finally reap the rewards. Because being in connection with these people, places, or things, you weren't reaping anything. And if you did reap something, it was short term. It didn't last long. And it was because of these connections in your life. Probably preying on your downfall or something like that. All right, let's get more info. But see, with you choosing freedom, that's you finally having authority over yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, look, we got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 3 of Cups. Somebody don't know what to do. It's like hold on, sorry. So we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 3 of Cups. So somebody lost someone they thought as family. Someone could have even finally left home. 343 is significant. That's an angel number. Y'all may want to look up that. You know what? We can do it real quick. If y'all don't mind. Let's see. We're about to read what angel number 343 is. Because I want to know. A sign of guidance and support from your angels. Yeah. Yep. Didn't I say something? You were earlier about you were getting signs. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever this is, friends, family. It's no longer friends, family. These could be really your family members. These could really be friends that were like family. You're finally leaving what you thought was home with these people. There's no more celebrations. There's no more getting along. There's no more none of that. There's an ending to whatever dynamic this was. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, we had the 10 of Wands. Yeah, because it was just stressful. It was overwhelming. It was unnecessary. You will work yourself to the bone, right? When it comes to these connections or work or whatever, only to just stress you out, work harder than you had to, and not really reaping anything from it. Not much from it at all. It's almost as if it was just a waste of time. And I feel like you're now starting to see that. Because you see how he's staring off into oblivion instead of like carrying something that's extremely heavy. This person is looking off into oblivion, realizing that once you finally left these friends and family behind, it finally had you realizing how stressed out they made you or how overwhelming they were. Yeah, and then we have Judgment here. So I don't know if these people want second chances with you and connections. That's a no. Because if they stressed you out, overwhelmed you, and had you doing unnecessary things only not to reap any rewards from it, then no. So maybe this was the moment you had a change in perspective and started seeing things differently. It was when you left whatever this dynamic was, whether friends, family, work, relationship, what have you. Yeah. I know you're a lot less stressed these days, I'll tell you that. Let's get more information. King of Pentacles, the Judgment, and the 4 Wands. Look. Yeah, look, and then the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Look at that. So, um, whatever this situation was, it wasn't bringing you financial wealth and stability. But with you choosing freedom, you will have those things. It's like because you left this situation, this dynamic, these people, this job, this whatever the heck it was, you're getting a second chance. Hey, you all, I apologize for that. My camera cut off because I needed to delete some stuff. So I'm back. And so I left off with you getting another chance this time because you recognize the signs. Okay? And because you're recognizing the signs and you choosing freedom, that is when your financial wealth and stability is coming into your life with the Four of Wands. Now, financial stability and wealth could be meeting a person. But if it's not that, it's just the hard work you put in with doing whatever it is you're doing. But just know, tapping into this Empress energy, right? It's going to allow your life to evolve. So it's like whatever situation where you're seeking stability, you have to get into this Empress energy because that's what's going to help you evolve. So this is why this is coming out, because something in your life needs attention. So if you haven't walked away from whatever dynamic this was, whether it's friend, foe, work, whatever, then that needs your attention. It needs your attention in a way to where you need to rid yourself from it and choose freedom. You've probably been feeling like this for a while. And so if you was looking for confirmation, this is it. Let's see. Let's get more info. Let's see. Get some more tarot. Okay. So we have the Knight of Buds, Temperance, Three of Pentacles, the Devil, the Magician. So let's see. You have the Hangman at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So maybe you just been going through life real slow, or things in your life have been like really slow. But that was just so that you can find some like temperance in your life some kind of way, especially until you left this situation or dynamic. Whatever this dynamic was that you're walking away from or already walked away from, it had you emotionally eating, is what I'm getting. You even, you know what I'm saying, rolled a few times, you know, and but that was just to get you by. That was just to get you by. And I'm not saying the emotional eating was healthy. I'm not getting healthy emotional eating. You ate a lot of junk, or you are eating a lot of junk. And you could, you know what I'm saying, be rolling up just to get by. I don't even know if it's something that you necessarily even want to do, but you know this is the only way you can get by until you leave this situation, this dynamic, if you haven't already left. Yeah, because maybe these people to you, you know, you started looking at them differently. Didn't I say that earlier? You started looking to them more like they were the devil. And you just didn't want to be attached to this dynamic anymore. Because maybe these people, these connections, they were the ones holding you back. And the only reason why they were latching on to you, these devilish energies, was because you had everything you need. They didn't have everything they need. This is why they would come to you, because you had everything you needed. And they wouldn't even come in and ask you for it. They'd take it from you. Like, we cool, right? Like, that's not how you ask me if you can have whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. These people knew that you had everything that you needed. Now, and whether they needed it or not, they made it up in their mind that they needed it. Crazy. Crazy. Left you hanging. For real, for real. They would leave you hanging. Take all of what you had just to leave you hanging. But when they see you in this Empress energy, they know they can't come to you like that. They know ain't no way you're going to allow them to come in and take everything you have stashed for yourself. $420 could be significant. Whoever I'm talking to maybe has to get up for work around that time or leave out for work around that time. So hopefully once you choose freedom, you can start to eat better and get up out of this emotional eating. You know what I'm saying? And not really have to use, you know, roll up just to get by. You just do it because that's what you want to do. There's a difference with having to smoke one because you're trying to get by versus it's just what you want to do. And yeah. These people knew that everything that you had and needed was because it was infinite. You know what I mean? So like whatever you had, they knew that you would always have it. And that's why they didn't have no problem taking it, because they knew that you would just get it right back. But that still doesn't mean that it was theirs for the taking either. Oh man. These cards got a lot to say today. All right, we have Tybalt, Balcony, Mercutio, and Resisting. Okay. So yeah, so the place where it should have been considered the land of love for you, right? When it comes to these connections or your family, your friends, your job, your coworkers, whoever, right? It wasn't that. It was more aggressiveness than love. Okay? These people weren't really loyal to you. If anything, they looked to you as if you were humorous. They weren't devoted to you. These people were wild. And I believe they were wild because you have the 10 of Wands. I believe they were wild. Yes. But it was something about their toxicity that kept you resisting, you know what I'm saying, walking away from them. Maybe they would put things in your head so that you won't follow your heart blindly. And that's another reason why you had to get up out of there. The things these people would put into your mind that would eventually, you would fester upon so much that it ended up being in your heart. And you're like, no, like, this ain't me. This could be a reason why you had a hard time facing your heart, meaning you had a hard time following your heart. Yeah, and then look at that. Farewell at the bottom. You dang right. Who said I'm not resisting no more? I may have, because I thought this was the land of love. Turned out it was more aggression than it was love. They look to you as if you were, their mule, their muse, their muse. They weren't loyal. They weren't devoted. They were wild. And they kept you from following your heart by the things they would say, the things they would do. But finally, you got up enough nerve to say, nah, it's time to say goodbye. Because you realized that you couldn't do it anymore. Like, you just couldn't. All right, let's get more information. It was going to get to the point that if you wasn't going to be listening to the signs and synchronicities, it was going to come to a point where dang, what was I about to say? I don't even remember what I was about to say. Sorry, y'all. I don't remember what I was about to say. All right, let's see. Let's get more information. We have Spirit and, why are these upside down? We have Spirit and Gogoro. Okay. So Spirit needed you to act, because in acting for you was time to say goodbye, farewell to these connections. And because you acted upon what, your spirit team was, trying to get your attention about, when you left, when you said it's time to say goodbye, when you said farewell, it brought an ego death to all these people. When I tell you the Tower moment they experienced when you left, oh my goodness. They were really shocked. They never thought that you would take action. They never thought that you would take action. At the bottom of the deck, we have Alchemy. Yeah. You realized your choices. It was either stay here, become like these toxic people, deal with these toxic people, become like these toxic people, or choose freedom. And clearly, with the first card out, was choose freedom. That's what I'm talking about. And your leaving came out of nowhere. They didn't expect this. It wasn't until they realized you was really gone and not coming back that they experienced the tower moment, aka the ego death. It was the tower moment, then the ego death. That's what I just heard. And these people thought that they can continue to keep doing what they was doing to you, and you would never act upon your impulses, and you did. All right, we have the wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. Yeah, take a breath. It was a lot that what you had to deal with. It was a lot. And so now your body is thirsty for more. Your body is thirsty for more freedom, okay? And the reason why your body is more thirsty for freedom this time around is because in the past your body was always thirsty for survival mode, right? Because in your land of love, or what you thought was the land of love when it came to these connections with these people, places, or things, you had to cope some kind of way just to get through your daggone day. But now that you're choosing freedom, your body is thirsty for that. Okay, so just take a deep breath, you know what I'm saying, and inhale and exhale. Because your body needs that. Because that's you freeing yourself. By exhaling, taking a deep breath in, inhaling, and exhaling out slowly. Yeah. And at the bottom of the deck, we have King Tide. Plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Yes, you are. Because you choose freedom. That's why. That's why you will be receiving the fullness of life, or you have been. That's why you're going to have plenty. This is why you're going to have prosperity. Because you took the time to change your perspective on these people, places, and things, and realize they were nothing but opposing forces in your life, stressing you the heck out. And you just couldn't take it no more. So kudos to you. So, if you like my work, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is all that I have. Until the next episode.